3.5, perform basic matrix operations. Vocabulary, matrix. Matrix is a rectangle, a rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows, and those are things that go across, and columns. And columns are the numbers that go down. Okay, dimensions. A dimension of a matrix has m rows and n columns. So a m by n matrix will be something that has m number of rows and then n number of columns down. So a 3 by 1 would be 3 spaces like this and only one down. Elements. Elements are the numbers in the matrix. Equal matrices, they have the same m and n, so same rows and columns, and then the same elements. A scalar. A scalar is a real number that you multiply the elements in a matrix by. And scalar multiplication is just the process of multiplying it. Okay. Adding and subtracting matrices. To add or subtract two matrices, simply add or subtract the corresponding elements. Notice you can only add or subtract matrices if they have the same dimensions. So, if you look at this, if I want to add these two matrices, I would add A plus E to make the new answer, and then B plus F to make the new answer over there. Subtraction is just the same, only I'm going to subtract each term. Okay, example 1. Perform the indicated operation if possible. So let's look at A. So the first dimensions are 2 rows by 2 columns. So it's a 2 by 2. And the dimension of the second matrix is 2 by 1. I must have flipped this. So this, the first number, is the number of your columns. I'm sorry that I got that wrong before. And this is the number of rows across. Anyway, these dimensions are not the same, so you cannot do anything with it. You can't subtract them. Now in B, though, they are the same. They're both what now? So we do need to say the columns first. So how many columns are there? Like columns on a house, there are 2 of them. And then how many rows are there across? 3. So this is a 2 by 3. So we can add these. So what is negative 2 plus 1, that would be negative 1. What is 1 minus 4? Negative 3. Then 0 plus a negative 2 would be negative 2, and so on. You should get 12 here, 8, and 11. Pretty easy. Now if you're going to do example 2, it's also rather easy. The 3 on the outside is our scalar. I just need to multiply each of the elements inside by 3, and that would be my answer. So 0, 6, negative 21, negative 3, 18, and 12. Okay? And B's just like it, just be careful of your signs. Now, on the checkpoint, subtract, and then multiply out by that scalar. Start the video again when you're through. Okay, example 3. Let's go ahead and use this in a story problem. So, pet stores. 2 pet stores sell both dogs and cats. Sales from each store for last month and this month are shown below. Organize the data into matrices, then write and interpret a matrix given the average monthly sales for the 2-month period. This is actually fairly helpful because on a computer spreadsheet, this is how real businesses keep track of things. So, let us do last month. In fact, let me give myself a little bit more room to write. So, last month, store 1 sold 42 dogs and 33 cats. Then store 2 sold 56 and 21. This month was 36, 51, 48, and 37. Okay, so those are our 2 matrices. Now, if I was finding the average of something, remember how to do that in from just your regular math classes? To find the average, you add up the number of terms, or add up the terms, like X, Y, Z, and get some number here, and then divide it by how many there were. So we are going to add up the dogs for store 1 last month and the dogs for store 2 this month, and then divide by 2. And in algebra, you know that dividing by 2 is also multiplying by a half. So they want us to just rewrite these numbers in here, rewrite these numbers in here. So I could then go ahead and add those 2 up, and it would be 78 because that's 42 plus 36. Okay, I don't want to lose you. And then 84, 104, and 58. Then when I go ahead and multiply by half, I'll have the answer 39, 42, 52, and 29. So store 1 sold an average of 39 dogs, 42 cats, while store 2 sold an average of 52 dogs and 29 cats. Alright, solve the matrix equation. This is just like a lot of linear equations all at once, so don't let the boxes and lots of numbers mess you up. It's still pretty easy. So to do this, I'm going to take 3x and I'm going to add the 2 corresponding blocks together. So 3x plus 1, and then 1 minus 3, that's negative 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. And then 0 plus a negative 2y is negative 2y. Now I need to multiply by the 4 on the outside. So then I'll have 12x plus 4, negative 8, positive 8, 24 minus 8y. Oop, I missed that 6 right here. So I need to put that 6 back in there. Okay. Now I'm going to equate corresponding elements and solve the two resulting equations, which is a fancy way to say find your variables and find the answer. So this part has a variable to it. So 12x plus 4, and it's going to equal negative 8 because that's in the same position in the answer. And if I subtract 4 from both sides and divide by 12, I'll have x is negative 1. Now for my y, this part of the matrix C, 24 minus 8y, corresponds to the 0 answer. And then I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides, divide by negative 8, so y equals 3. Okay, so pretty easy. Checkpoint. Go ahead and solve this. Be careful because you have a negative here, so it's going to flip all the signs in the second matrix. So let me just even get you started on that. You would have negative 2 still on the outside, and then 3 minus 1, negative 2x minus a negative 6. Okay, that'd be negative 2x plus 6. So you can go ahead and start that from now, or start that now. And that's the end of this.